Well, welcome back once more to the Paladins Pro Circuit as we jump, as Kresnik had highlighted at the end of the last one, over towards North America's very large jump for those of you who are capable. Otherwise, you had to take a plane or a car or a train or something. I don't know if you can get all the way up. I don't know how the connectivity of North America and Brazil are other than plane. So we'll have to figure that out. Probably boat, maybe train. Figure that one out on your own with Google and one of your best friends. Either way, we're going to be moving forward towards Sanguine taking on Team Project. A very solid matchup that you would expect to be good, but in Phase 1, it always went Sanguine's way. In Phase 2, it feels like it should always go Sanguine's way as well, especially with the Sanguine that we've been seeing these last few weeks.
It was definitely a different matchup, though, in Phase 1. You say it goes Sanguine's way, but...
Oh, yeah, it was a slaughter.
It was a slobber knocker that was going back and forth constantly for that. It was always so close between them. Now I think it's a little more one-sided. Project was still doing good in Phase 1 and definitely have been struggling a little more, especially after losing Rock Monkey, after losing Shadow. It's been hard for them, I think, to adapt a little bit, and we'll see how they adapt into this team of Sanguine. But the bans are here for them. Sanguine got rid of Ice Mines and Frog Isle. You don't get to see it, I'm sorry. And Bazaar and Fish are the two that Project removed as well. Sanguine, our first pick, and they want us to go to Jaguar Falls.
Starting out there, I won't be surprised, again, if eventually we see something like a Splitstone Quarry or what have you that comes through. Either way, right now, I like Jag Falls, and I like Sanguine's odds on this. Like you said, Project, again, just haven't looked the same that we would expect out of the team and the way they've been playing and what you would expect out of the names on that side. Whereas Sanguine, again, maybe a rough start in Phase 2. It seemed like things just didn't quite click, which was weirder because it felt like their meta was even more meta for Phase 2. And yet it just kind of slipped away from them for a few weeks, then finally re-solidified here lately, and it has become devastating as they've moved on towards these last few weeks. We'll have to see how they look today, though, because it could be a key factor in the rest of North America and the rest of the year at that.
Yeah, and look at these bans. I mean, you're talking about the meta, and I feel like this is a little bit different. I mean, the Grover and the Rom, something new, but one thing is that no one banned Torv, so he's just going to go first, because it's North America, and that's going to be a big pickup for them having that bubble bot, that extra support with Corvus gone. They do sacrifice Genos unless Project choose to go another direction if they want to play that sustain game, but still, I think the Torvald as a first pick makes a lot of sense, especially on Jag. It is one of his better maps.
Man, I think it was Sanguine last time that we're able to get like a Torvald, Bomb King. There was probably another DPS somewhere in there that they would have been picked up for other players, but Poison was able to just rock the world. I think he went 24-9 that game with a Torvald Bomb King, so always keep your eyes open for that one. And it was on Brightmarsh that I'm remembering. Jag Falls, I think they played afterward. He didn't quite have the exact same performance, but still a solid one at that. And they get Terminus Torvald. I don't know. This feels pretty oppressive already from Sanguine. With the Bomb King stolen away, though, it maybe makes you have to second guess where you're going to be sending your DPS.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be tough to match up into that Terminus with whoever they have. I think maybe they want someone that can kind of kite around a little bit mobile on the side of a Project in terms of DPS to fight it out. But Inara will be the tank that they have to match up with the Terminus and hopefully distract him from just running down the Bomb King all game, because he can kind of lock that space for himself. And Atlas is actually going to be the second tank that they pick up. So Atlas here, great into the Terminus at the start of the game, and also good with the setback to kind of stall out when they come in with that Torvald bubble. So decent into both of the tanks, but as resilience gets built up, he falls off, I think, a lot harder than some other off tanks do.
And Rizil, we've seen, can be focused, especially when you add in not only Atlas, but hey, there's Inara, hey, there's Bomb King, hey, there's Genos. Rizil's pretty solid so far against all of them on the side of Project, so I wouldn't be surprised if Sanguine start picking that up as fast as possible. Damba, and it's off the beaten path?
It's actually so far off the beaten path, I think I've gone backwards. But
no,
not that weird. Not that weird on this map.
Not that weird. Moji.
It's Moji.
It's Moji! Where's Fawn? Get Fawn in here. Fawn, fix your internet.
Fawn! Hello.
Get Fawn on the phone.
Gotta call him up and let him know. I mean, I'm sad that he couldn't be here today. He's in his new place. His internet just not working yet. But this Moji, paired with this Terminus, paired with this Torvald, actually can shred. Honestly, it can straight up shred. If you have the Siphon on her, if you have the Bubble on her, it's going to be really hard to stop. And Project need more healing to keep up. That's going to be a lot of damage. So they grab this Furia to double boost this Bomb King when the ults come out. I kind of like both comps, and I also like the Project is now playing more to their roster. They lose Rock Monkey. They pick up Witch on their team as well. One of the supports for Team Speaker Lobster, Michael, and now, unfortunately, Team Weimer in the minor league, as they've named themselves after me. I don't know if you were there, Gore, but the first week of the minor league was actually Bobby versus Weimer.
Wow,
in the
that's
finals.
Actually very impressive.
I can't believe it happened. I can't believe that was
not only get there, but with those names at that. That's amazing.
In order too, Bobby was the higher seeded team as well. It didn't stop giving, honestly, for that one. But they're playing to Witch, who was a support. They had him on controller DPS. Now they're saying, all right, well, we have 2 support mains. Let's play double support. Let's see if that will be what'll take us there.
Well, I'm thinking through what I'd like to see, and honestly, it's Cuss on Furia. If at any point in time, same thing like Vex has been picking it up a little more often, I think, lately. Get the people who have been playing it in the way back when back on it now to make sure it showcases what it can do. The only downside is, as you had maybe highlighted, Moji, Andrew, they're going to rip apart anyone on the side of Project. I don't know that the extra healing is going to make up that deficit. But like you said, they're playing to their strengths. Maybe that in and of itself is going to be the comfort that they need. So we'll see if they can truly do it, Kresnik.
Yeah, the comfort's going to be important, I think, for Project, and we can see exactly who's playing what. It is actually going to be the Cuss on the Furia here for this team. And I want to see these talents because I feel like some people have backed off of Toot a little bit more. We might even see a Boom Boom busted out, and I am confident in saying this is the first Boom Boom Moji I've ever seen in competitive.
Yes, it is the first Boom Boom Moji I've ever seen. After you hear Toot, and you kind of get used to hearing it like, oh yeah, Toot Moji, whatever. You forget the ridiculous names of it. Boom Boom coming through though. Do you like seeing it here on Jaguar Falls, especially I guess with quote unquote new Moji as she is?
I mean, they just don't want Toot, I guess. I think the sustain might have been nice, maybe, for the Terminus and stuff, but look at this hyper-aggression. G-Buddy, there's no way he's ready for this one, as Gogurt is just on him already, second chance used, but he's keeping him out of the fight.
Well, getting aggressive. There's a lot of damage in there. Is the kill. Cuss, though, elsewhere in the map, was able to pick up a kill onto this Terminus and put them down to the ground. G-Bunny, though, being gone, makes it a little bit easier to do so. Get aggressive. 57% for Project, before anybody can really reply on Sanguine. 45% on the snack time picked up here for Gogurt. We'll have to see if he can keep it up. Unfortunately, G-Bunny, I mean, he just walked back, and that is just not the spot that you want to be in. It's going to be able to come through. Wow, what the damage! Gogurt just finds himself 3 like it's nothing. Now looking for a 4th, is going to be able to find that one. The game's not going to give it to him, but that's essentially a quadra as he burns through. And unfortunately, G-Bunny, there's not much you can do here.
I mean, there's literally nothing that you can do. Look at this, all the CC on Gogurt too, and he's gonna get away. I mean, Mogurt, I think that's one of his only emotes that he has on Twitch right now, and he's showing that proficiency we saw at last phase, and he's gotta be feeling happy to be back on it again, just tearing through this entire roster as they try to push forward.
And it's just kill after kill after kill here for this Moji. You had said it could eat through people. I didn't think we would see that. I mean, I guess literally she can, considering snack time and what it does. But I think for the most part, this is just well played so far by Sanguine. Good pressure. Let's see if they can get this payload moving as fast as they want. This is a very good map for 4-0s. And Frog's gone, which means it's going to be a little easier, I think, for this Moji to continue being aggressive without getting harassed.
Yeah, and I haven't changed POVs yet because I literally haven't needed to, because Gogurt has been effectively nonstop. This should be his final stand for this life, and it is, with him going down quick. Cleans up the kill for him, though, and Sanguine are able to stay forward with this hold that they have here. Poison gets knocked down a little bit, but they are getting closer to this. The spawns are better for Project, but look at how they have this being held. Quick is in a perfect position here once his team gets back, and there's no one on Project to really dive and punish him.
Yeah, he's just hanging out. Frog once again goes down. Same thing there for Poison, though, so some retaliation coming out from Team Project, trying to keep things locked down. Dread Serpent goes deep into the backline, not really locking anyone down though on the side of Project. So Hero forced to fall back ever so slightly. Reanimate available. So far, save for that one, which of course has to go a little wide, as I mentioned it, has been on point with these stuns and helpful locking down players like Gogurt, who, speaking of which, is going to get a bubble right now, and I might expect to see get aggressive. A cursed arm from the top rope is going to get poisoned. 1 kill once again on the Frog. Poor Frog having a not so clean game so far, but finally the team retaliating. Reanimate could just go ahead and get popped. Hero wants to stay alive here, and they're going to be able to pay for it with the kill. Ancient goes down. Now G-Bunny is going to follow, thanks to Gogurt, who, by the way, is just going to tear through literally anyone and everyone that stands in his way after that. You should not try to fight this Moji right now. If he is happy where he is, you'll go through. Speaking of going through, Kresnik, that ult, it's a little bit of a whiff, even though he was just trying to meme.
So here's what Gogurt has learned. Moji ult gets spent the second you press E, not several seconds later. So he doesn't have that anymore, but it also really isn't that much of an impact ultimate, honestly. I think on this team right now, who are you really going to hit with it? Inara, I guess, but she has that damage, that CC immunity on her damage reduction to let her tank through it, so not as much of an impact play here. I wanted to mention, they went over that big wall that G-Bunny put down before. Imagine how bad it must feel to drop a shield with a 20-second cooldown and then have your teammate die anyway, through it. Straight over it. How big does the shield have to be to stop Poison from doing whatever he wants when they're pushing last?
I mean, yeah, being able to get that high up, not easily done. Well played. Poison be able to get aggressive. Torvald Bubbles looking to pay through. Frog finally goes through, deletes Gogurt just like that. Now is looking to try and delete Hero as well. And this is going to eat some of those shots and stay aggressive with no reanimate. He used that at the end of the last round. So he's going to be feeling that one throughout the duration of this. 86% and rising. The accursed arm. Right now it seems like a little bit of a delay. Project holding their own right now against Sanguine's power.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well holding inside here, but actually, wait, Gogurt caught them off guard. The Genos getting isolated by that. Gogurt stuck, having to 3-peek around the corner, but the health is so bad. Poison collapses, trades his life, but all the kills go Sanguine's way as everybody falls. They also have that cap time too. Hero and Quick rotating on and off of the objective, helping them stay entirely in control. This is going to be their point, and this Moji Torvald combo, or Moji Andro, Torvald Andro, whoever he bubbles, just looks unstoppable.
Yeah, it's always the way with Torvald, right? Whoever gets the bubble just seems to be a menace throughout the rest of the game. We'll have to see if they can keep up that pressure. For Gogurt specifically, is Witch doing a little bit of jukes around the pillar, stays alive through that one. Cuss going to even dash to get aggressive into the fight as fast as possible. G-Bunny looks to hold on to this, and Quick, well, is quickly going to be falling back to the base there as they just regroup on the side of Sanguine, waiting for their opportunity to get back in here, although some shots from Poison indicates that they're getting aggressive a little earlier than I thought they would.
They can get away with it with their composition, I think. The Torvin Damba will help people stay alive as long as they have at least one of them giving them a look as they go in. And Project, because of that, they have to give so much respect to this double pocket. They back up, but they're not ready for the arm. Over the shield again, dies Frog.
I mean, that's gotta hurt. I mean, like the way you said it earlier is the best way to word it. Poison with a triple kill, looking to make it 4 if he can find it. Gogurt takes the double there to pull away the pent. Either way, it's a full-on team wipe. Team Project are going to be playing patiently as they regroup here. King Bomb available, as well as, well, literally every other ult here for Project. They're going to have to use them if they want to delay this payload as it's coming around this last bin. A minute left to try and convert it. Frog going to go ahead and channel this one through. Rolling, but he's not going to find anyone. Gogurt just far enough away and just shielded enough to make sure that he's not going to go down there. Quick doing a good job alongside this Damba to keep Gogurt alive and pushing for this Moji. Continue finding those kills, although low impact so far. There's going to be what sounded like a Hyper Beam coming out, but it hasn't been channeled just yet. To see if he uses it. No, Quick goes down first, and Hero flying down the bottom of the map.
Yeah, he jumped off because they already lost the fight. For the people who don't know, if you're going to get staggered, if the enemy team would do better to wait for you to die, you got to end it yourself. And Frog should get this cleanup kill on Steve, but there's a lot of damage on this Moji in these close range areas. Look at this body block, actually. What a great play there by Gogurt, keeping them alive. I can't believe they're still going, and I can't believe that no kills have been found yet.
Well, now the question is whether or not they can keep those kills coming through. Gogurt finds one. Have a few seconds to try and touch. Gogurt, you're going to make the long haul, or is it going to be whoever's mounted up there? I can't see the silhouette well enough thanks to their mount. They're going to be able to touch in time this time, and Gogurt is looking for kills double to make it start off. Hyper Beam gets rid of the Inara. Well, maybe not pushing her off the full way. Poison will have to clean her up with the kill, knocking away. Trying Frog. This time the wall is going to stop this Andro from being able to get cheeky. But it doesn't matter, Kresnik. They're looking for the 4-0 right now. Another kill comes through, and that's all she wrote. Bomb King standing there, maybe a little sad because he wasn't able to stop it all. Well played by Sanguine. Little snags here and there that came down from Team Project, but Sanguine back to full force.
Yeah, and a unique draft from them. I mean, it is kind of up in their wheelhouse, you know, having that Torvald, having that Terminus. That is, I think, their ideal tank combination these days for that team with the roster they ended up with. Quick loves that Torv hero, has been playing a lot more Terminus, and I like that adaptation, right? Kind of leaving the Inara behind just to have a point tank that can sustain your team as well. Inara, you can do walls, but that's a lot less flexible, I think, than what Sanguine have been able to find with this. We'll see how well they were enabled as we look at the stats. Poison and Gogurt kind of screaming away from the pack right now. 66,000 on the Andro and 87,000 damage for the boom boom emoji. I don't think I'll ever say that again.
And the 7 damage at the very end, I guess, kind of ruining it for me. I wanted it to be 87,000 on the nose. But either way, it's still a lot of damage to come through. What is that? Over double what anybody was able to pick up there on the other side. Maybe technically Frog is just slightly ahead if you double that damage. But either way, I think Gogurt is able to stand far and above ahead. Not necessarily in terms of kills, though. I mean, a lot of damage that came through. 16, 5, and 9. 12, 4, and 12 for Poison. Very big impact on that Andro. A lot of ults that ended up going over G-Bunny's walls as well, which, when it's that massive, I think is more impressive on Poison's part than anything to be able to find those shots, let alone those kills.
Yeah, definitely Poison doing a great job, I think, helping Gogurt sometimes and cleaning up those kills. And a 28 and 9 combined for those two was a fantastic play with them. I want to take a look really quick at the shielding. Quick got 62,000 to that, so 62,000 damage. That could have been done potentially on the side of Project, just going null and void and effectively hitting nothing here. And the next map, Project, it wasn't their choice first time, so they will get the choice this go around. And Project want to go to, hey, we're staying on the same couple maps today. Stone Keep is going to be the next map that they want to go to. And I don't know what they can really change other than, I mean, you got to ban Torv, right? I mean, I don't think there's a way around banning that Torvald.
Yeah, I think you either talk yourself out of it, and that's the only way that he's maybe not banned here. Overall, a great performance, and again, something that, at least in North America, we see banned pretty much every single game. I think definitely makes things a little easier for Team Project if they don't have to deal with that, alongside the damage that's already coming down from Sanguine. So, we'll have to at least maybe cross our fingers for that. They are first pick. They could maybe force Sanguine to ban it out here, as opposed to trying to ban it out themselves, which would give them some flexibility to try and not only pick it up, but also build a composition around it for themselves on Stone Keep to be a very happy team, just in general.
Yeah, they'll definitely be, with that Torvald ban, they'll definitely be happy with anything Sanguine pick up after how strong Quick was at saving his team. Honestly, there. Vivian will be the pickup for Sanguine here as they're on their ban phase. Just deny that from Project, and kind of, I guess, from themselves. They have the controller player, but which also flexes between controller DPS and support. So if he's on controller, you want to keep that, I think, away from him, because it can really run rampant in the game. Rom, the other ban for Project, so kind of targeting Quick on the side of Sanguine. We'll have to see where he flexes to feel comfortable in this matchup. I haven't really seen Quick play anything other than that, other than Barrack on Fish Market. I honestly can't. I and that's kind of a weird thing to pull out of my hat, but I feel like I haven't seen a ton of Ashe from him either.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll have to see, I guess, what they decide to go in on. Torvald being gone, as you had highlighted, along with the Rom, means interesting picks should theoretically start coming through. Stone Keep, though, again, a map where I feel maybe not as much as Jag Falls, where I think Jag Falls, anything can happen. Same thing for, like, Fish Market. Stone Keep, is one where you get to see some of those flex picks come through. Androxus just had a great game there for Poison, so no real reason to change that. Genos as well. I'm looking more for the lower end picks, I guess, that come through. Are we going to get a Shaolin like Mika played in Brazil here in North America? That's the question I want answered.
Maybe. Probably not that Strix now being picked up. I think that's going to kind of fulfill that role, and that's, I'm assuming, going to be Witch rocking the sticks here to do something effective with this Strix, be able to get very aggressive. We're using that 50% chaining stealth. You can get away with quite a bit with that before they get Illuminate online, and they'll have a con to enable him. So that's kind of another pocket E tank, right, where you can heal your DPS and your supports with your shout. You can have your shield in front of them. You can protect, and the grip, of course, to Peel. I'm not sure if Bunny and Peel, we don't normally see that much. Bunny always has been this super aggressive off tank, but we'll see what this draft so far can do, because I don't hate any of the picks the projects have started with.
No, Khan has been, I think, very hit or miss, but other than really realistically like being on that kind of thin line of a ghost of what he used to be overall, he's been solid, right? He still does all the things Khan used to do. He just doesn't do them to the point where he has to be first pick every game. So I think he can still fit in pretty well here. Buck Corvus on the other side as well, very happily, I think, locked in. Although Buck, we've seen a lot more play on Splitstone than we've seen on Stone Keep, do different styles. And maybe he can get back there to the Strix long enough. He is pretty tanky as far as that goes. But speaking of tanky, I was going to say, they didn't have any front lines that come through. It was pretty interesting. Sanguine with a double flank, double support that comes through. Actually kind of a draft based on what you had given me as info. I maybe would have expected for Project more than anything. So it'll be interesting to see if this one comes through. It's definitely a unique flavor.
Yeah, the double, it's interesting seeing them play that double support. And we'll see the flexibility of this team. But I'm going to take a wild guess, and I don't think it's really honestly that wild of a guess, just knowing these teams decently. That is going to be a Gogurt bounce house. Almost 100%. That is going to be a lethal dive, potentially, if they're not ready for it. He can just instantly delete someone, especially that Strix is going to struggle, and I just got to the loading screen on my end, so I see Gogurt with that Buck Wild skin on. I know that's going to be bounce house. With that double pocket, I don't know how they stop him. Honestly, they need to CC him in the air. Maybe that's a big ask for that, reload stun coming out of Cuss on that Moldamba.
Yeah, it could be fun if he does go for the stuns. Lockdown could be fun as well. Corvus, though, as well as Genos on the other side, I don't know, we don't live in a world where, let's say, we live in a real world, I should say, where back in the console-only days, you could see someone play Binary Star Genos, and Quick, not going to be pulling that out.
No way.
Binary is just absolutely too solid. And so, is it worth, knowing that the damage is going to be kind of lesser, I guess, overall, having two supports, is it worth having them over a second tank here in this case?
I think, in particular, these ones, yes. Because you have that Luminary making up for that extra bit of damage, and the double bit of healing from the Corvus makes up for the lack of tankiness, right? That kind of helps out significantly, I think, with that, but we'll see how tanky they're feeling. They're all stacking on the low ground, so not a lot of high ground control at all, basically. Poison just looking for an opening, and he might have found it, because no one's contesting this high ground, and Ancient doesn't even know he's there.
Yeah, that's just going to be clean shots for Poison. Looking for another here onto Witch. Witch is looking the wrong direction to be able to catch those shots. Does find quite a few kills on the other side, though, but support's gone for Sanguine. So ultimately, I think Project able to come out on top of the fight. I say that, but I'm looking at the percentage. Sanguine are at 84%. Somebody on Project's got to stop this man from being able to control this. Hero has just been sitting there happily as the Sonara getting 90% now, looking to be able to close it out at 99. Looks like they're even forcing Ancient into an awkward position. But Sanguine just kind of capped it, while even though the fight was going even on the side, Project just couldn't maybe focus in the right areas.
They needed to have, they had the Inara on cap, but the Terminus had to be playing Peel. That's what happened, right? The Term needed to be looking somewhere else. And the Inara just stood still. Once he finally rotated over, he was low on Siphon. He instantly died to Poison, which I also forgot until just saying this right now. So they had no way to fight him. I think Sanguine had good priorities there to fight it. And now G-Bunny just trying to buy a little bit of time, knowing he's completely isolated. His shield gets just shredded to pieces as Hero staying aggressive up front. They're not letting off the gas here, really, at all, this composition that they have. But they only have one tank. that, to me, means it's going to be a really hard push on Stone Keep, looking at the draft of Project now.
It's going to be, like you said, maybe difficult, especially once you open up into the courtyard. That's where things get really fishy, at least in my eyes, because it's going to be difficult, as anyone would know, to try and turn around and burn through a Strix. Although I say that right after watching Poison turn around and burn through a Strix. So we'll have to see if he can maybe keep that pressure going for him. That was an accursed arm that was used. Payload is precariously close for something that should not be moving in as fast as it is. In fact, it's been converted, Kresnik. I mean, almost like it was walking through wet paper. Nothing really stopped it.
Yeah, it just straight through. There was no way they could really contest it at all. And I'm glad I had the camera on Poison there that whole time, because look at him on these damage charts. He is just 10,000 ahead of his own buck, and then Strix is even below that. So a really hard game. Also a hard game for Frog, getting out damaged right now by Bunny, but Bunny has been very aggressive. I mean, Bunny has just been kind of running into the back line, forcing them to turn for him, getting poke damage from behind. And he needed to do that because he needed to get that overpower. This overpower is going to be the most important thing here. Maybe he pulls Hero off the point, maybe he pulls any of these supports. I think they might have to bait out a cooldown first, because if he tries to throw Hero off the map from Keep, Hero could just ult and stay alive.
Well, we'll have to see. G-Bunny looking to come through, overpower available. Not a lot of spots on this map where it can really make a difference, but a good grab right there, and another grab right here to make sure Gogurt gets locked down. That's a 3-man wipe for 0 on the side of Project. Comeback mechanic enabled, at least in my mind, means this might just be over at that, although Hero hanging out in the wings, going to be able to come in, keep points contested, making sure they're not going to get it for free, although he is still alone. Double support, he's going to go for a long haul. Ult locks him down. The snipe from Jeno is going to be just off the mark, not quite able to find the kills that they need to. So unfortunately for them, the combo didn't work, and now with Quick going down, a little hit or miss as to who controls this Ancient standing on the point means they're getting the percentage, 97-100. He's not going to be able to get the touch if you're Sanguine. Now it's up to Project to try and stay alive and get this push off to the right foot.
Yeah, the double comeback really helps Project there, I think. But Sanguine are managing to stabilize a little bit with this ground they're taking here. Accursed Arm does a lot of damage, and these tanks are getting very low. There's so much pressure being put on by Sanguine.
And I mean, at this point, it's almost just defense-oriented. I mean, one of the most aggressive defenses that you can have in Paladins, although maybe not quite outside the base just yet, with Hero being the last man standing. What a beautiful wall to be able to just stop them from moving forward. It gets Sanguine regrouping as well. This payload, even if it does start to move, it's not going very far and it's not going to go fast.
Yeah, they're getting held down, actually. Seismic Crash in the middle of them. Poison doesn't want to engage because of that flare, but it still slows him down, and Gogurt manages to clean up his own kill on the other side. Look at Terminus trying to make something happen, but literally just can't, being the last one remaining as everyone else got to escape. Look at this right now. They're walled in. Hero is just controlling the map right now on this Inara.
Yeah, I think Hero is showcasing why they are one of the best frontline players that's touched Paladins, right? I mean, this Inara right now is commanding so much in terms of, I guess, just attention is the best way to describe it. Like, you have to give him the credit where credit's due because of what he's been doing. A minute and a half that has been burned down, and then a double kill from Quick out of nowhere. Witch and Frog just get erased. You thought that Project was about to get onto that payload and start pushing for the first time. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a Genos in the game.
I mean, they used an ultimate for it, but it's one you can spend, right? You can just throw that one out if you need to, and Frog right now needing to find some way to equalize with him holding up top, but I think they just need to hold on to the resources, right? Maybe they go into the next fight with all their ultimates when they're missing one on the side of Sanguine, but walk out up top. Terminus can't save everybody, and Sanguine are trying to play off that by harassing a little bit of everyone.
Well, he sure can try, but like you said, he's probably not going to be able to do it. 20 seconds left in all of this, and Kresnik, call it a hunch. I don't know, 15 seconds. Payload has to go literally all of the way. Doesn't happen often on Stone Keep, although it's not outlandish to say it could happen. Overtime is a hell of a drug that comes through, right? I mean, maybe you just try to push it forward anyway. It's going to be difficult to try and accomplish. Overtime, as it's said, does come through. It's Payload has quite a far way to go. Hero, once again, trying to control everything he can, but forced to play on the payload this time. Doesn't have the same control and commanding presence as what we've seen. This payload is actually going to start moving forward. Now, bear in mind, it has to get through every single chokehold still here on Stone Keep. We'll have to see if Project are able to do it, but as of right now, they're making progress.
I mean, it's going to be so hard with the speed of which it has to go through. Yeah, there's no way. I'm actually kind of sad that Ancient spent his charges. I saw that he had 4. I thought he was going to just kind of fight for a while till they back off, right, and hold on to all those extra charges that he managed to have there. Looking at the ultimates, Project still have theirs, but extending the fight got Quick closer to his as well, so Quick will have that Gen Assault up just in time, I think. Gogurt having a tougher game, I think, for the team, but he's just diving in the back and making room, right? I feel like we just constantly see him going behind to make them turn around, keeping them distracted, and dying a lot for it, but forcing them to split, it makes things a lot harder for Ancient to keep his team alive.
2, 1.
Well, the kills much closer this time around. The score much closer this time around, technically, than it was last time. Sanguine still only one mid-fight away. It's a nice mount running around there. Unfortunately, going to be spotted out, looks like now. Getting to the backline. Ancient dead, revives. Let's see how long the second life is going to be able to live. Dread Serpent goes deep. Gogurt pays for it with his life right now, but there's Poison coming to step up. Looks like a grasp that could have come through here to try and pull Poison into an awkward position. Nice little dash, I think, from him. Just reposition. Well, maybe a little awkwardly at that. They're just waiting for this regroup. Good kill on the Frog, keeping things awkward for Project. But Kresnik, I mean, comeback mechanics still there right now. And with this overpower, Gogurt's not going to be able to fight much longer. There's a lot of advantages here for Project.
Yeah, especially with Witch in the position that he is. He can do so much damage, and look at that. Quick actually goes to the point to contest. Might even die for that, but Ancient gets off the point to chase him and dies. They eventually get the trade kill, but now they don't have any cap time at all.
That's 81% to 75 right now. Frog gone. Quick gone on the other side, but luckily you have that supplementary healer that comes through. Looking for the lockdown, and speaking of lockdown, double kill for Gogurt, looking for a third here. If he can find it, trying to burn through Ancient one more time. Hero gets credit for the kill. They're all gone on Project. Zen is in the neighborhood. Can he get the touch? He goes for it, and the Billow is going to keep him there just a little bit longer. Counter for a little while as well, but not enough to come through. By the way, Poison, he's making sure this game is won, locking him in base, and Sanguine find game number 2.
And looking great, honestly, the whole time. Project, they got their win. They played point off of comeback. It's really hard to play around that sometimes. I think Sanguine did what they could, but their composition made it so easy to snowball. Once Buck was in the back, we saw him just get several kills, can constantly chain jumps. Poison literally just ulting them in their spawn when they can't even get out. It's just so hard to go through his Androxus. Do we just see Tor of Andro banned? I feel like targeting Quick might not be the right idea.
Yeah, it feels like, again, you locked him down, and then Quick does what? 26,000 damage. Maybe not the most there compared to everybody else, a little more than what Baller Steve was able to put out. But then there's also 52,000 healing alongside that 64. So 110 plus thousand healing on the side of Sanguine. That is going to be able to top, unfortunately for Cuss, what he was able to put out there. Although, between Cuss and G-Bunny, not by a lot. So that's actually a pretty interesting and maybe showcases why he is one of the best supports that has ever played. Unfortunately, it's the 85,000 damage I think that you have to look at. The highest there was Witch for 56,000 on Project. Just not able to, I think, consistently get those kills. 7 and 8 for Frog, very much right next to each other. Cuss 3 and 3, Witch 5 and 8. But the tanks 3 and 10, 2 and 8, G-Bunny and Ancient, I think, paid for all of the maybe lack of damage there that came down from Team Project with their lives. And unfortunately, that cost them the game. It gave Hero a 12, 1, and 10 slash line. That's ridiculous. On an Inara, that's ridiculous.
That's what Generous Corvus lets you get away with, because he's got both pockets too. He's
True.
getting the pockets just as much as everyone else, but he's getting all the lifesteal from the damage he's doing. It lets him stay in the fight so long. He's getting all that healing. How do you kill an Inara that's getting that much love from the supports? You really just can't. He's able to get away with however long he wants to stay on the point. He can do that. He could run into the back line, which he was doing. You saw him saving Quick. Hero just putting himself in the middle of the fight, and the draft the Project had could not dislodge him from that spot.
And hey, if you're Inara, name things that go better hand in hand, right? Inara standing on point and not getting dislodged. All three of those, I think, fit together and exactly the style Hero wanted. Now Sanguine, I mean, based on this tear, look like they are a team that could absolutely knock out Team Project once again. And again, maybe a team that deserves to be up in the top when you're looking towards them. Pickled Pepper right now, I believe, #1 in North America, but you got to keep your eyes on this because Sanguine coming for your money right now. I'll have to see if they can keep it up in game #3 because that's where I think all the important changes will happen here for Project.
Yeah, the map where they want to make all these changes is going to be Split Stone Quarry, the map the Project choose. So stone map to stone map, we have stayed on, I believe, the same 4 maps all day so far.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty sure it's just been Jag, Bright, Stone, Split. So I'm honestly, Project, I'm rooting for them so we can get to a game... A game #4, which might be on a different map. I just want some variety in life. It's just a spice of life, variety. Core.
Yeah. We mixed, I think, both of the idioms there. Or I did. I said spice of variety, and you said variety, spice of life, which is the actual phrase. Either way, we'll see what Project are able to do here. As I try to get excited for him. I'll be honest. Now that I see that ROM being banned out, it is making me a little more worried. You had mentioned the Andro, the Torvald. Again, I think if you're a first pick, you don't ban Torvald. I like that they do this. It forces Sanguine to ban it, and then you can still get something powerful. In this case, it would be something like the Corvus. That's what I was going to say. I almost said Crover. Not a champion, just a fusion of 2 supports. But with Crover being banned, even if you grab for a Project here, Torvald, Corvus is open for Sanguine. And they don't grab it at all.
They don't get it.
Huh.
They go Andro to take it away from Poison, I guess, but that's not... Poison will just do well on something else. He's not an Andro one-trick. He is a flexible player. And they're giving Sanguine the Torvald for that gameplay. And guess what? The Torvus is in. The Corvald. The combination, the double Orv pockets. And now whatever Sanguine get is going to be enabled by one of the best comps. One of the best combos that you can get.
I really like Torvus and Corvald. I don't know which to call it. Corvald, because it's like the core of the team, I think maybe fits just a little stronger for me, but that's just because it's a double entendre. Either way, you get to come through, and it feels good for Sanguine. I'm going to be honest. I see Androxus, Victor, Terminus. Any meta, at least from this year, that is a winning 3 that you can pick up. Until you look at the other side and see what Torvald has been doing, Corvus has been doing, and Nara is going to be able to fit in very well here. Zen, and I really, honestly, I could tell you, Kresnik, I don't care who they pick for the last one. It's probably going to be something like a Strix at this rate, and it'll be beautiful with a shield beside it.
Oh, yeah. No, it doesn't matter, because Zen will probably get the priority on the bubbles. Unless they get another flanker, it'll probably be Zen getting most of it. They could go Buck again. This is a fine map for them. This is where we normally see it in Brazil, even, honestly. Eevee's open, Maeve is open. I mean, the world is open to them, but unless Gogurt plays Xin, this has got to be Gogurt's pick, so it'll probably be a hit scan. Koga even would be phenomenal, honestly, here. If we could see that. I'll take a look at what they end up with. I think a mobile flanker or a backline would be a great pickup here, but Bomb King. So that's for Poison. More than likely. So it will be Gogurt on that Xin. And BK, I mean, inside Quarry into a Khan, that's going to make it really hard for them to hold him off.
Yeah, I think it's one of those weird moments. Bomb King is not necessarily, like, this is the only time you will probably hear me say this. It's not a lot of maps, at least, I should say that I say this. This isn't necessarily one where I think of Bomb King first. This is definitely one of those maps where I think maybe of the Willow first. Honestly, even Dredge, I think, might be, maybe he's on the same line as Bomb King, but someone who can just sit up there and kind of have space denial. So this Bomb King's going to be interesting, and it does force, in my eyes at least, Sanguine's hand to play in a specific manner, to have, again, you can't necessarily fall back. It's not someone that's just going to be hanging out, as you had highlighted, something like a Victor or a Strix would do. He's in the forefront. He's in the battle the whole time. This Bomb King, if he doesn't get the Torvald bubble, or Zen, if he's missing his bubble, both of them can struggle. Both of them can change the game, but I will harken back to what I was saying at the beginning of this with the Torvald locked in specifically. Well, last time I saw Poison run this BK, he went 24-9 on a Bright Marsh map. So it was a very good combo, to say the least.
I can't believe you remember those numbers, because I certainly did not. So I'm glad to be enlightened with that, Goran. He's going to do so much, honestly, with this. But Bomb King is really good inside the quarry. I definitely think Willow first, but it can get away with so much if protected well on that inside there. Sanguine are running away with this game so far. Project, I mean, they have the Terminus to peel. They have the Terminus to match into the Bomb King. Poison is literally just mounted. He does not care. And the Bunny mounts away. Bunny mounts away to get away from him.
It's going to be so far looking like damage. I mean, this is aggressive right now. This is Poison wanting to show him why this Bomb King needs to have some respect. Maybe even me a little bit, saying that I didn't think it was going to be too hot on Splitstone Quarry already. Off to a good start. Gogurt deep in the backline helps Poison find yet another kill. By the way, they're just harassing them. This is not a push, if you're wondering. We're still just, what, 30 seconds of gameplay into this one? Now, this is just straight up control from Sanguine right now. Project, I think, just didn't know what hit him. There's no other way to describe this one. There's nothing else to it. That point is captured, and this payload is moving fast.
And Ancient realizing mid-travel that he has chosen the wrong door, so not much else to do. Project are just getting shoved back in by this. And Gogurt going so deep because he knows he can get away with it. When his team pushes around the corner, he'll get bubbles, he'll have the Corvus mark on him, and those duels will go ever in his favor. But Bunny manages to flank and kill Poison.
That's impressive altogether. Just killing Poison, I think, is going to be big here. Trying to lock him down. You can almost get Baller Steve, and not able to find that for Frog. In fact, Frog loses his life to the healer on the other side. Baller Steve making sure to keep everyone moving forward. That Bomb King, pesky, pesky Bomb King, he's back, and he's ready to go. Although the tanks are delayed a little bit here, so I think Sanguine gonna hit the pause button for a little bit, Kresnik, before they decide to jump back on this one.
Yeah, they'll sit, wait for everyone to be regrouped because they know they need the bubbles and the heals, of course, on their DPS to actually fight it out. And look at Ancient's watching the Luria, but they're not like keeping it super well controlled, so they're able to get a bit of damage in. So they have to spend that barrage defensively, and now Witch is the only one who can really output damage to the cart.
Well, a couple of good shots. Poison gonna get taken down there, Witch showcasing why this Victor is still something that has to be prioritized. I had said it earlier. The Andro Victor, it's very hard to argue against that in this current meta. We'll have to see if Team Project are able to keep up their pressure as of right now. But they're playing it slow. Patient is the better term for it, right? They're making sure that they're not biting off more than they can chew. Ancient, though, getting aggressed on, locked in a corner. Right now, though, it feels like Sanguine may be locked in a house. This is going to be a chase down onto Quick. Good control. That means Ancient's going to get another kill. That might honestly just go ahead and put a stall on this one, at least for another few seconds, so Sanguine can get aggressive.
The Andro has been doing a lot, actually, for Frog, going in the back, killing Baller Steve a little bit earlier when he was in the middle of the Entropic Breach. He's sitting up top, so if anyone moves forward, he can just go and split the team. He just has to be careful, of course, choosing the targets. He can't afford to really get caught out diving someone who gets Torvalded. But right now, look at this. Sanguine made it up, and King Bomb just right in front of them, and goes around the corner, catches Frog. That's a great opening.
Look, sometimes you just got a King Bomb right in front of them to let them know, let them have it, and feel out what they're going to have. Ancient Witch going to get eliminated right here. They're contesting. G-Bunny's going to go down, it feels like, although it's definitely taken a while. Technically, at that point, a stagger kill, which maybe favors Sanguine, especially as they push forward. But Kresnik, I'm going to tell you, overtime, Splitstone Quarry, those two don't necessarily get along together. So we'll have to see if they can do it here. Sanguine look to come around this last corner. Already, though, Ancient's at half health. This might still be a good fight for Sanguine.
Especially with Frog kind of giving things away. They use the Entropic Breach, but he just holds it for the damage reduction to survive there. They do retake their elevator. I think a good rotation by Bunny to clean that out, but now they have to deal with Witch just standing up top free firing with no way to really stop him.
That's going to be the downside, which just has a nice beeline directly to the back line. Team Project hold on here. They control the pace of the game just a little bit in their favor. 10,000, 11,000 damage even. Ahead right now is Witch, even though the 3-1-2 slash line might indicate otherwise. They're doing pretty well, I think, at slowing things down. Splitstone Quarry is not going to be as easy, I think, to accrue insane kill numbers as maps like Jag Falls and Brightmarsh, just because of the size difference. But the fact that Team Project are keeping up with Sanguine here is a good sign.
Also, height difference, too, even. Just being able to kite away a little bit easier if they don't have that direct high ground mobility to chase you down as things go on. Interesting build here from Frog. I saw someone in chat call it out, so I wanted to take a look at it. Punch reset. We haven't seen this in a long time. I feel. This used to be Defiant Fist meta, but now we're seeing this, and look at this early Dread Serpent that Frog's playing off of, combined with the Barrage. They're just getting destroyed.
I mean, they're just running it down. Hero, though, is able to return a kill there onto Frog. That Barrage maybe not able to find as much as they wanted. It was a good zone, but it's still 30% on the point for Sanguine. And the kill's coming up their way. Poison goes down. That might be the delay they needed if your team Project Hero getting forced away alongside the rest of his squad. And they buy themselves some space here for Project. This is actually one of those moments, unfortunately, that I think a 2-0 scoreline for Sanguine would end up benefiting Project. They'd have capped this point already by that point. So
yeah,
maybe they're opening up this conversation. There's going to be the Entropic Breach, opening up the door for Sanguine to walk right back in. And Ancient incredibly low, and that's exactly what you want when you're playing the Torvald. You only get one, but you still get the kill. Ancient is close enough to dying. Cuss is going to be able to pick up one, quick picks up the other. Gogurt finds one off screen, and Ancient uses the reanimate. That's a bad one there. This is going to be a point for Sanguine.
No, for sure. The fact that they're already back to their position from last time, and the cap time denies that retake at all, which wants that kill just to slow things down, but no way they're going to find a kill here with the Torvald to save his life. Froggle just poke, but I like how they're playing this right now with Project. Even though they lost that, look where Bunny is already. He mounted behind, and an overpower could help them immediately turn things around.
Oh, can he find the angle? He's looking for lava, and he's not going to be able to find it. Tries to go for the three-pointer, but unfortunately they just don't arc like that in Paladins. I'm sorry for you, man. The realm isn't, well, I guess you're not LeBron. Let's say it that way. It's a little easier overall. Had to mention my man's. You know, Evan might not be here anymore. He's over there in LA, but you know he was still watching the Lakers as they go forward. Either way, Sanguine right now really trying to find their way to convert this one. I mean, they got there in overtime last time. They weren't quite able to seal the deal, but they were able to push it the distance in that time. So I give them, you know, a minute and a half. A lot of hope here to maybe get some of this pressure back online.
Yes, they do stabilize on the side of Project, so pressure will be definitely tougher for Sanguine, especially if Gogurt gets staggered out here. Torv, so strong to save people, honestly. I mean, look at that. Just barely escaping was Gogurt. And Sanguine, they spent resources, but they managed to get away. So not the biggest end of the world here. But look at this engagement right now. Seismic Crash comes in, stuns. No one's squishy, and they actually lose one on their own side.
Couple of shots, which really opening up the door this time. That nade almost does it to get the 3. Isn't quite able to find the kill. Now they're looking for the out-of-combat healing. Not going to find it with that nade. They're just going to have to play passively, and that's going to allow Ancient to get aggressive and start knocking people down with the Massacre Axe, doing exactly what it indicates. Coming through and just shredding through Sanguine. Locking him down. They're still not out, Kresnik. 40 seconds left. They have to regroup. There's a lot of regrouping to do. I mean, they're splattered all across the map. Hero right next to the payload. The rest of the team still coming out of their base. They're in a good position to maybe get aggressive and try to buy some time and space here, especially if Gogurt gets that aggressive.
Yeah, for sure. Gogurt tried to pull them back, but the fact is the team has to commit when you do something like that, right? They can't just sit all the way back. Gogurt thought maybe they wouldn't chase him, but they're mobile enough. They can get away with it. But Sanguine are playing off of it, right? They're going forward, taking that space that Gogurt gave them, and it's giving them their first kill.
They find one, they find two, maybe looking for 3 and 4 right here. They're low enough. It's going to be up to Poison trying to control it. Cuss looking for the kill, not able to find it, and both of them end up walking away from that one alive. That's ridiculous out of both of them. Either way, they find the kill. That Poison set up for them quick there on the Cuss Cutie with the last one. Hyper Beam available. Look, Kresnik, you know, I'm much more of an advocate for pushing people into the drill, but if you need to keep them from touching this payload and try to get the conversion, Hyper Beam's a good way to do it. King Bomb available on the side as well. Walking in the last 20 feet of conversion. Poison already starting off with 1 kill. Looking for 2 here. Frog gets hit by another 2 bombs. He'd be gone, but they luckily are able to avoid it. Frog is able to even turn that around. In fact, he finds himself 2, looking for 3 if they can find a cursed arm available. But do you have to use it? The answer is no. Lucky, because that overtime timer dips so fast. Sanguine are still alive in this, but so are Project, keeping it even.
Yeah, Project, they hold on to most of their ultimates. The only one they're really spending is the Entropic Breach, but honestly, Steve is using that mostly as a self-peel tool. You know, holding on to that just to ensure 100% that he does not die to a dive from Frog, or when Bunny manages to find his way around the entire team, which he has probably a little too much this game, I would say. I think they need to maybe pay a little bit more attention on their flank to keep themselves from falling to that again. But Project have all their ultimates actually available here, and this overpower coming in from G-Bunny I think is going to be, of course, as always, the impact ultimate here. He's got to find more than that attempted half-court 3 that he tried to do from the low ground last time. It has to be a kill if they want to find themselves in a good position.
Well, he gets the grab, doesn't get the kill, gets eviscerated in return. Hero is able to get credit for the kill. I want to know where all the damage came from, though. It seemed like there was a firing squad on him. Maybe it was all Hero, because he finds himself a double Gogurt poison pop off as well. And now Cuss forced to run back to base. Doesn't look like Gogurt's going to give him the option. Dread Serpent used so far away just for peel. Gogurt is more than happy to die for a moment like that. They're already at 60%. Still rising here on Sanguine. King Palm available, and they're gonna go ahead and channel it. Might just pop it immediately. G-Bunny is gonna feel that one 8 ways to Sunday, but he's still alive right now. In fact, they turn it around. Cuss Cutie able to get credit for the kill. Entropic Breach dropped on the point, and they're just trying to control this. Project are back in, but it's 84% on the other side. Sanguine in control overall of the percentage.
Yeah, and still holding the point now, but they have to play their lives, and they can't let this happen. Gogurt runs in on the side and cleans up a kill for Steve.
Hyper Beam not able to find the kills you want, but still gets G-Bunny into an awkward position. Everyone can see you up there, buddy. They know exactly what to expect. Ancient, silence, locked down. And even though they don't have any ults, they still get the kills done the old-fashioned way here. Sanguine are able to lock that one down, and now they're on set point. One conversion is all you need to find yourselves a win. And with Gogurt getting aggressive, Poison getting this aggressive, I don't know, Kresnik, it's starting to feel a little more possible than the last two.
Yeah, for sure. But this is the amount of space that they had last time. They just got to be careful to keep it held, and now Quick very much alone. Definitely would want his team to help him here. Doesn't even have the recharge to stay alive, and Bunny will clean up that kill for him, but Sanguine end up on the better side.
They're able to find 2 for 1. Quick being gone does put a little bit of a fork in their plans. This is going to cause enough trouble that it slows people down. Gogurt's gone as well, but it doesn't matter. Dude, Hero is, at this point, a pseudo carry on this Inara. I mean, 10 streak burning. I've seen him get more kills in some of these fights than some of these carries have been able to do so, and based on the scoreline last time, it's been solid. From the back line, goes for a seismic crash. Ancient's already gone. Barrage gonna be dropped. That gets rid of Hero. Probably the biggest pressure. There's gonna be a nice billow to avoid the Dread Serpent. That's down now for Cuss Cutie. Soon enough, Overpower, Cursed Arm, going to be coming up. They have to be able to stay alive and use them to make the big difference. Able to find a kill onto Gogurt, looking for Poison, looking for Quick, trying to lock him down. They get Baller Steve as well. This might be the lockdown they needed. Hero's already back in the fight, though, as he gets back. Quick falls down, and it looks like Sanguine are going to fall back, recognizing that this is a little too risky to try and just run bodies at.
Yeah, and I think throwing in that seismic crash would have been good if the team had been ready to collapse, but no one was really ready to do it. Look at this early overpower. I mean, early overpower in the sense of you're going to want it for the next fight, and Bunny's charging ult fast, but not that fast. No morale boost on him. To get that first kill, Sanguine will leave, and Project, I think they needed to get staggered kills to make that really worth it. They needed to go in and get at least 1 or 2 more people and be able to retake that forward hold. So now they're stuck all the way back here by the objective, with Poison putting in a lot of damage to them and softening them up before the push starts.
Oh, there's the Entropic Breach to try and get things rolling for him. Speaking of rolling, King Bomb available, and if you want to win this game, you might see that come through. Sanguine have 2 ults, and there's going to be the charge coming up from Poison. He's rolling on in, finds the stun, but doesn't find the lockdown that's necessary, because he's not just safe enough here, but finds a good angle on the Frog. Frog looking the other way, caught peeking here, and it's going to be Poison looking to run through. Ancient finds the kill onto the Bomb King and keeps things rolling for his team, but is it going to be enough? Just the 1 kill to lock them down. That's up to Gogurt and crew. There's going to be the Dread Serpent to lock down 1. Hero, you've been making a lot of hero plays here. The question is whether you can do it right now. One Inara versus the world, has Quick by his side, but it doesn't seem to be enough. Quick goes down. The respawn over time. Not going to touch through. And in true fashion, we're going to 3-3.
I think to be expected almost from these 2 teams in the past. Maybe not recently, but Project, their draft is definitely good at defending. They just really are struggling on these mids, and I think it's kind of missteps with ultimates a lot of the time. Why was Bunny going for an overpower from the top of bleachers in front of the entire enemy team, by the way, that was all staring at him with pretty respectable long-range damage? He's just got to be a little bit thinking about that a little bit more when he goes for plays like that. No Accursed Arm, no Dread Serpent, Sanguine, though, they're not particularly strong in ultimates either. Seismic Crash and Hyper Beam are basically all they're going to have here. Team Project, I think, control the right side, and just surround, I think, the players that are playing inside Quarry. You can't really contest it, but Bunny, first thing, he goes in there and tries to slow them down.
Oh, they're going to be able to get aggressive, looking for that 70% on this overpower. 12-3 as of right now. Reads the point control, but the Witch, the Frog, the Ancient kills coming through for Sanguine are going to give them a lot of control. Cuss looking to get chased down. Gogurt has been not leaving anyone alone here in the background. Same thing for Poison. One controls the high ground, one controls the side ground. They just won't let you move forward. 48% and rising. Sanguine looking to try and hold this one at bay. King Bomb going to be coming up right now, Krasnik, and this is looking good for Sanguine.
Frog must have shoulder peeked that so fast the server didn't even properly see it. Here this comes, though. Ancient makes it to the point. He has a res, but this overpower is going to be coming in soon. Is going to be so crucial for Bunny.
He's going to be alive here. Can they find the control? I hear a Hyper Beam off somewhere in the map, and he's going to be looking for it one more time. That's going to be the kills, baby, for Quick. Looking to lock it down with style here for Sanguine. 99%. It's turned into 100. It's turned into a set win. Sanguine showing that they are back here in North America and threatening everyone that challenges them.
What a ridiculous... How do you get that? How does that happen twice in a row? How does that happen twice?
It does it, dude.
How do you just keep killing people in the spinners? I get that you want to play inside Quarry. I don't know why they were so obsessed with playing in Quarry. They died in there, and then they're against a Bomb King and a Torvald. You can't contest it. Bunny kept sacrificing so much to fight in there. And I think that's what honestly lost them that last round, just being so desperate to hold that Quarry area.
And unfortunately for him, like you said, not only cost him the last round, it cost him the set here. 138,000 damage there from Witch. A good game, I think, altogether from Project. They push it the distance there, not making it easy for anybody, but 136,000, just 2K off was Poison. A lot of good kills that come through. King Bomb at the very end, forcing Ancient into an awkward position to have to ult. I mean, everything that lines up there for Sanguine as maybe the perfect scenario to win that game. I also want to see Heroes slash line, because 14, 4, and 18, yeah, maybe I want to use the term disgusting. I mean, that's not something that an Inara should be doing. This man is control. If I'm playing Sanguine from this point forward, I don't know what I ban. I guess Torvald and Nara is maybe my safe go-tos, because that's just been too menacing as a combo.
Then I get Vivian. You don't want to give him Vivian.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I don't want him to have Andro either. Wait. There's too much.
Here gets Terminus. There's just a whole lot that Sanguine have. Pickle Pepper, I mean, had their MO last time. So we'll see if anything along those lines change. But Sanguine are definitely looking like they belong in that second place position, right? That they've kind of fought their way back there and deserve to be over Snappin' and over Yeezy. But I think those teams can also kind of do well against them. I think that just in every region, second, third, and fourth is so competitive. I feel like I don't think there's any fourth place team that I don't think can take the second. The thing is, the first on every region feels like they're just screaming away from everybody else.
Yeah, I think in Europe it's maybe the closest between Clown Fiesta and Yoinkers, but honestly that's even just maybe anecdotal, not necessarily any evidence to lock that one down. North America will have to see as time goes on, because like you had said in Brazil, and I think we had mentioned in Europe, but it is worth mentioning here in North America, especially towards the end of the broadcast, that the last few weeks of the PPC are coming up. The last few times these teams are going to face each other is coming up. It's a 3 times round robin, right? So you're going to be able to face them for the third and final time, and then like you said, you're going to be looking at the World Championship, which I believe is going to be very soon after the end of the phase too. So this is a very good indication these next few weeks as to what we'll be seeing as time goes on forward. So a lot of pressure on these teams, I think, to hold on to their crowns right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that the second, third, and fourth matches are going to definitely be the most important. Of course, going forward, you want that seeding going in, depending on how things go. I think things will get announced about that later on. But week 11, I think this day has had some good matches between them, even if it was 3-0. Some of the games were fairly competitive. Maybe not the Brazilian won today, but the rest definitely had some fight on both sides of it. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 3 for the other two matches. Again, no third Brazilian game because Tempest team forfeited. I'm going to have to answer that question again tomorrow. 1,000,000,000% chance that I get asked that 100 times in chat. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Goremizer, for stepping in a little bit earlier than he was supposed to, because Merlot's internet is actually gone.
Look, man, if it's me and Kresnik that are doing it, we're doing it all day, baby. We're not letting anyone have a break.
Okay, pull back the curtain. Me and Gore have never had a week where something didn't go wrong with someone else, and we had to both do the entire 3 weeks in a row, separated by 2 weeks between them, and we have had to do the entire day ourselves.
Dude,
every single time.
I am 100% convinced I am jinxed, because most of the time, today was a good exception. We got 2-3-0s. There's also a lot of times we get some long sets when I'm over here too. I think I am a lightning rod for some technical issues.
Right,
Either
well,
way, I'm happy that you're there.
Tune in week 14 when Gore is back with me, and you guys get to see, I'm sure, some level of chaos around it. But also, again, tomorrow, 3 p.m. PPC, Monday noon PCML. I'd love to see you guys there. Don't miss it. We'll see you then.